Open made a 9% move today, pressing up on this resistance, looking for that volatile break. So, should we be expecting that breakout, reaching levels like $9 or even that $10 level? Or are we going to see the sellers step back in before it's too late? All right, guys, I'm trending on the weekly. We're set up in a really nice position here. So, we had that very volatile move to $10, really from nothing, around 47 cents. And then we saw a smaller pullback, kind of regain that ground as the buyers go ahead, hold their ground, trend up, lots of back and forth, ultimately now getting in a less volatile spot. This week, guys, we see more condensed from how volatile we were, and we see a hammer candle forming on the weekly, looking for that push up after a lot of back and forth from that pullback move. So looking at this alone, guys, I mean, we're set up very well for a breakout level move, possibly even hitting levels like $10 based off the technicals on the weekly. All right, guys, I'm flipping it back to the daily. So we've seen an obvious pullback from that $10 level. We've gotten that huge explosive move right on this one day, guys, doing around 70% on a single trading day. That is a very aggressive move. And from that, though, we did see the sellers stepped in, but not to the magnitude we thought they were going to step in, right? We thought, seeing such a big move like that, maybe a almost full retracement. Instead, the buyers go ahead and hold their ground. Actually hold above that 880 level for some time before flushing down and finding that 642, that being our main support level within this entire movement from that pullback. So we get the bounce there, end up trending to that 880 slash that $9 psychological level, where then we found a pullback, try to lay that base on 642. We do get the bounce once again off that spot, double bottom formation. Go ahead, make another move, but quickly get shot back down, creating a lower high from this pullback, and then going ahead and flushing under that. But the first day that the buyers get pushed under 642, we find support at $5, leading us to a massive bounce and recovery. This was the exact point where we saw the market flushing down. So open initially was responsive to the market going down, right? That 3.5 to month period of time where the entire market was pulling down. But while we got that explosive move to 5 all the way back to 880, guys, we did still see the market was still pulling back during this time, but open was one of the strongest in the market, doing around 80%, finding a massive recovery from this drawn on pullback. And since then, guys, we've met up with some obvious support and some resistance, squeezing in this pennant type of structure, getting a lot tighter comparative to all this volatility that we've seen, especially that upside movement doing around 80%, super volatile, and we create a higher low, creating this support, and we continue in that narrative, finding that resistance, getting tighter, another higher low, and then we saw a beautiful day today, guys, doing around 9% on stock price, closing at 758, looking for that big leg up. So really nice stuff on the daily, guys, not only in the short-term perspective being very set up here, but also in that long-term perspective, seeing a lot smaller of a pullback, quickly finding that bounce, right? Going from $5 all the way to 880 in 4 trading days. I mean, that's incredible. We saw a lot more volatility in the past, and we see that open still has that power for some really crazy gainers in a really short amount of time. And if we flip on over to the hourly, we see this pennant structure a bit better. So where we found that bounce at $5, 486 being that exact level, did that huge movement, came back down, higher low, squeezed right up to that spot, right, finding that resistance right around that $8 level. We try to trend and retest that 8, but we end up falling downwards. And that's where we get tighter. So sellers do try to push us under that support, quickly buy it back up, and then find that support once more, green wide bar. Then we see a little bit of indecision, right? Zooming in on this price action, bit of indecision as we press up against that resistance, but still really holding that spot. And we see, massive continuation after the sellers try to get their movement. So the fact that the sellers try to get their move, it was a failed move, responded by round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very explosive hourly candles going to the upside, correcting from that move to the downside. And we see we're squeezing right up on that resistance. I mean, we're looking super prepped here, guys, to go ahead and break this spot and test levels like $8 and higher, right? This could be a very explosive move. We see open is definitely no stranger to very aggressive volatile moves to the upside. And this would be set up in a very excellent position now, guys, to go ahead and find that break, possibly retesting the top, being around that 880 level and that $9 level where we'd want to regain that control to find that $10 again, that being the more prominent high in recent times. So beautiful stuff here, guys. Really set up. If we go ahead and look on the daily of IWM being the major index for low cap stocks, open being a low cap stock, this correlates. We've seen a beautiful continuation bounce after finding around that month of price action to the downside. So we saw tough price action after hitting those all-time highs, find a bit of trouble for a long time. The overall market's pulling back. We do get that groundwork at 230, that being a past support. So we get that double bottom effect. And we've been very explosive since, going ahead and getting right around those all-time highs, guys. Going back, closing today at 251.82. So we're still in a great position for the overall market with low cap stocks. And this is only going to help Open here. So I'm very bullish on Open, not only in the long term, but in the short term here, guys. I think we're set up in a really nice textbook pennant. We're pressing right up against this. Do we have to break out tomorrow's trading day? Not necessarily. I mean, especially if we find an indecisive day, tomorrow being Friday. There's anything is possible, guys. We could be seeing playing around in this pennant a little more quickly on the hourly. There's always a chance we get super tight in this pennant. Don't really get a breakout Friday, and then we go ahead and get a breakout the next following trading day. But we definitely are set up for a possible breakout tomorrow morning, guys. And obviously you gotta look at the flip side, right? If the overall market is pulling back tomorrow, if the bears gain that control and we break down from this pennant, you want to watch levels like 642, which is a past support level, guys, right? Holding up as that support. You'd want to watch for the bounce there. That would be your best friend as far as the support level goes. If we get the flip side downwards movement, hopefully bounce there before any other damage. Everything points to being bullish here for an upwards breakout, meaning that we've had a very aggressive move. We've had a smaller pullback. We're getting an obvious pennant. And the overall market for low cap being IWM is still in a very bullish position. So we look good, guys. I definitely like this textbook breakout setup. And overall, just very bullish in the long term. So we have a price target around $9/880 being the short-term price target. And for the medium-term price target, we have around that $10 level. Finding those highs again and trying to get back above to around the ranges of 1057 and 1127. Couple spots that we haven't touched in a very long time that is very attainable to get back to. So that'll do it for this analysis, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for all these updates. Hit that like button and let me know your price predictions in the comments below. And as always, guys, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.